what next?
What's next?
What is it about? You know,
Yeah.
see, in your bio, I saw you say you bridge the gap between good and great with a simple framework of think, plan, and execute.
Mm.
Okay. So
Mm.
tell us more about that framework.
So most frameworks start as something that isn't a framework, right?
Okay.
You realize, no, I've been doing something over and over and over, but why is it not something I can actually apply? Almost make it a religious process and application of it, and that's really how and as I call it now, the TPE framework came along, right? Is I realized there's a point in my life where I was just thinking a lot. Of course, with the reading, what tends to happen with reading is you read a lot, so then you think a lot and you ponder what you're reading a lot. And so ideas come up, but you don't action on them. Now you've got all these ideas in your head and you keep on reading more, researching more, thinking a lot more, which there's value in, right? But if you don't start then taking all these tangible thoughts and ideas, bring them onto paper and finding ways to execute on them, you've got a problem. Now, then the level 2 of that is the planning part. And whether you're a startup, whether you're just a person trying to build their career, we do a lot of planning. We sit down and we can plan a whole year. Next year, now it's 2024, it's about to reach us. We also have to plan next year in 6 months. I want to do this in the 8 months and in the 12 months. But a lot of us also stop there, just there. We do the first part and we do the second part, and that's it. We never really get to the execution of it. And if you don't execute on those ideas and those plans, then you're just wasting your time as a person. Because you can think as much as you want, it will not do anything. You can plan as much as you want, it will not do anything for you as well. But until you execute, it's really redundant. And then the reason why I started seeing it as more of a framework is that if you do one of the other without them as a whole, there's still a broken piece to it that you haven't done right, and that's where things kind of fall apart. So if you go straight and go execute, which some people do a lot, and sometimes you're lucky and you went straight into it and it worked out, but half the time you execute and then you realize, oh no, I should have actually thought more about it, or you execute and you go, I should have planned it a little bit more. So it's simple, and I think I said it's a simple, very simple framework.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's a simple framework that you can apply in a variety of things, whether it be in your personal life or work on business, and that can really change things and ultimately get you from where you are or where you to where you can be. And that's the whole good to great ideology as well.
See, when you started, you said you think and then you write.
Yeah.
See, that's something that many people don't realize, the power of writing things down. Okay. Nowadays, I don't write, but I type it out. I type it a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And my phone, I use WhatsApp a lot. I used to have another device that had a WhatsApp account. So I write things every time I sit down. Thoughts are always going through my head. Okay. So I just open my WhatsApp, go to that account, type it, send it to the account. So on my WhatsApp, the person who gets the most messages from me is me. So I write a lot because I think a lot. Now execution is something I still have a little problem with. Okay.
The most difficult.
I know without execution, nothing will ever happen. Nothing will ever happen. So tell me, what kind of clients do you work with?
So, of course, if you're a big company, chances are you're going to go out and get some consulting from your other bigger companies, your McKinseys and your Bains or whatever the case is. And it's perfect. But I thought these startups on the African continent, where starting businesses has become something popular, where people realize that in order for me to finance myself, my life being my family, I need to obviously then start my own business. but they either lack some of the knowledge to start and operate a business effectively, to market themselves, to scale. And I realized there was a gap. These people cannot afford to hire multiple
Those
people.
big, yep.
Exactly. But they can't even afford to hire other people around them, like full time. So what I then determined was that, Babu, you've been reading all these books. You've read all these books, watched all these videos. You've done all these things. So I've done my thinking. I've done my planning as well. But I haven't been able to execute as well. So I was like, they have started something and they can have would appreciate to have the skills, the knowledge, the expertise that I have, and then together we can then execute on it, right? And so my main focus is always and carries on to being individual solo. There's a new word. I don't really like it when they say solopreneur, because I don't think anyone is self-made like that. But the individual, self or founders that start something themselves and build on. Those are the guys that usually I go, look, what you're doing is really great. I've got these level of expertise and I can help you go from where you are to where you can be. And because you cannot afford to hire someone full time, in 6 months, we'll do your marketing this way, or in 6 months, we'll try to figure out your operations. In 6 months, we'll help you with your finance. And I realized that there was something with just helping smaller businesses and the startups on the African ecosystem, because business to us Africans, as much as it's not a new thing, the way we do business today is new. The digitalization of the way we do business is new. And this is what we need to kind of, I don't want to say necessarily teach people, but help them understand it, and then they can apply it. And it's the only way we'll be able to compete against, different economies and beyond.
Yeah, that's correct. The way, I mean, hey, Africans have always been business people. Okay, that's what we do on a daily basis. But we need to formalize the process of building a business. Okay, so that it will last beyond the current generation.
Exactly.
Okay, most businesses die once the owner or the founder is gone. Okay, we need to have a way of prolonging a business, and that's why we need to do it formally.
Exactly.
Setting up businesses, doing finding financials and all that.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised. And I mean, it's, of course, as I said, it's something that's really new to us as a way of doing business, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't have that knowledge. We tell people to start businesses, but we don't tell them how to start the businesses. It's the same way we tell them to go study and go learn and go educate themselves, but don't tell them what skills they need in the future to be able to do that. So I think we've missed something, a little gap in between there, where we said go start businesses, but we're saying let's find out how and the value behind those businesses. And not only that, there's so many concepts when you go into the business world that people just don't really know about. And it's like, if you start a business, right, are you going to focus on product first? So it's okay. I'm going to sell t-shirts. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's just a product. And first-time entrepreneurs, a lot of them focus on just that, right? And then there's obviously levels now where people that are more experienced know that, think about the value chain, think about distribution, go back up to even building an ecosystem where you're not just now selling eggs, you own the farm and you own the chickens that, so as Africans, we don't see all of that. We still go, okay, I want to sell eggs, but I'm buying them from someone else with the chickens. And then they are probably getting those chickens from someone, it's this line that we haven't determined. And we can honestly go up the value chain and have our own ecosystems as Africans, where I own a farm or our family owns a farm, and on our farm we have the chickens give us the eggs, and those eggs then go out into the market or the supermarket. And those are models that the ordinary startup founder on the content wouldn't think about. And these are the things we need to just educate them on. It's like, okay, you're doing a really good business selling the end product, but have you thought about how you can go up the value chain so you can build something that lasts, like you mentioned, generational? And when you just sell the product, it won't really go that far. But when you build an ecosystem like that, then you're almost guaranteed to see that longevity.
Good. So